Welcome back to the Development Network here on Wake Up America, and I absolutely love the idea that I can be here on TV talking to you and have the absolute honor to meet people like the lady I'm about to introduce to you right now. It's an organization, she's founder, along with her husband, of an organization that is very near and dear to my heart. And I only found her, through a mutual friend yesterday, and yesterday she said, I'll be there, because I really wanted her to be here today. The organization you may have heard of is BACA, and that stands for Bikers Against Child Abuse. And these are some pretty cool people to be doing what they're doing. I'd like for you to meet Nytro. That is her road name, as she calls it. And I said, was that your bike name? She says, it's my road name. Okay, I got that down. And her real name is Pam, just to bring that home. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about it, but it's one of those kind of things, one of those kind of organizations that Pam, or Nytro, that I wish I had had when I was a child. Mm-hmm. And not only you're making the difference in so many children's lives, but this thing went global. So I know now that you guys are in Italy, you're in Germany, you're in Australia, you're in, I don't know, I got to put on my glasses, you're in the Netherlands, Canada, France, I mean.
In the U.S., yeah.
And in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
How did it get started, and why? I know why, but tell me your why.
Okay. First off, we're not the founders.
Okay, but I was on a chapter.
Right. JP Lilly, aka Chief, we call him Chief, mm-hmm. Is a licensed clinical social worker and a registered play therapist. Mm-hmm. And he started this back in Provo, Utah in 1995. Okay. And he was working with kids that, were being abused. And he was making incremental changes with them. But then either the person that abused them would drive by the house or the family members of them, and they would threaten them. And then the child would shut down. Mm-hmm. And in the hopes that they wouldn't testify against the person. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times that ended up happening. These people would walk. So he decided to call upon his friends. He's had a good experience with bikers when he was little, and the first thing that they ever did was 27 bikes, and I forget how many people, like 34 people or something, showed up at a child's house.
I guess, and correct me when I'm wrong, but we've all got our image of what the Harley biker is, and we kind of think we know. It's kind of the last people in the place of the planet I think I would have called would have been a group of Harley guys. I'm just saying. Or maybe it was the most important telephone call I could have ever made.
Absolutely.
Or the most intelligent phone call mm-hmm. I could have ever made. But as a child, you don't think of those things. And mm-hmm. these guys, I mean, I've seen the videos. You guys have to go check this out at BACAworld.com. That's BACA world.org. Thanks for correcting me again. Sorry.
That's okay. No.
I got it off the website.
That's
okay. .org. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So BACAworld.org. Go take a look at what they're doing. They've got mm-hmm. videos. You can see them on YouTube. Just take a little gander, a little bit of a glance as to how these people are showing up for children that are in abusive situations. So tell us what happens. I know there are different levels. So when a child is in a compromised situation at home and is being abused, what do? They call you.
First, the person that is abusing them is either taken out of the home or the child's taken out of the home. Whoever the caretaker is, whether it's a therapist or the police know about us or something like that, they know that it's going to work. We get a lot of phone calls from the police. We get them from CPS now.
Right.
We get them from all the different agencies. Child Help has been,
right.
Giving us a lot of kids, which is really great.
Yeah. I love those ladies.
The most important thing to know is that we are free. We're not here to do anybody's job. We don't want their job, but we're here to help. And like Chief said, that having bikers showing up, kids are afraid of the police because they think they're going to be taken away, or that they're going to be in trouble, or they're going to get in trouble, they're causing trouble. And nothing against our police. Our police we work with local law enforcement and state officials. And then if they, call anybody else like CPS or something, again, they're going to get taken away. They feel like, they're at fault, they're to blame. Mm-hmm. When we come in, we ask nothing of them. We don't even want to hear your story.
Right.
You know, we know
So
you've
the
been
first
hurt.
level is that we know now that the child is put into safe. They're safe now.
Safe now,
Okay.
yep.
So second level, what happens?
Well, the first level is we go to their house.
Right.
Actually, the president and the child liaison go to make sure it's a legitimate case. It has to be a legitimate case, which means either a therapist is saying this child lives in fear and is still scared.
By the way, your shirt says no child deserves to live in fear. Okay.
Even though they've been taken from the abuser doesn't mean that they're still not terrified, that they have a court date coming up, or that they're having nightmares, or whatever it is. This is what these kids are going through. That's that darkness
that doesn't mean that the
they're
abuser
in.
won't be back home sooner or later,
Correct.
right?
Or try to find out where the child is and try to cause some issues.
Exactly.
Or the family members of this person that abused them. A good 85% ends up staying on the side of the person that abused them and not the child's side.
Right.
They want the child to be quiet.
Well, the child just lives in so darn much fear. And when you say
No.
we show up, give us an idea as to what we show up means, because
Oh, yes.
that was the part of the video. I was like, yeah, you just want to jump up and, you jump up and down and rah,
It's a moment of clarity of what we do.
Oh, they're pretty clear about it.
Yes.
All
Oh,
right.
yes.
Wait a minute, you guys got to go see this, but give us an idea.
It's something different. A lot of people have misconceptions of people that ride motorcycles. You have, your MCs, your motorcycle clubs, your 1%ers, they call them, but you know something? It's because of them is why this works.
Right.
Children know that we are who we are right here. We're not hiding behind anything. We are who we are. So we're strictly there for them.
The
Once
first time
we
you
find out,
show up, you guys got to be between 30 and 50 bikes are showing up.
well, try 87 with 96 people.
So there you go. I didn't get that right either, but you get the point.
We are growing. We're growing.
You show up in numbers, big numbers, with big burly guys and gals that are really there. And now, what I do understand is that it's I'm not going to say a peacekeeping mission because that wouldn't be right, but you are not there to affront or to confront.
Nope.
You are
Not at all.
there to talk to the child, give them their
We
vest.
give them little vests.
They get their little BACA vest. They get it with your logo on it. In other words, they now become a part of the family.
Absolutely.
And they know now that they have a whole new family that they can depend on
Internationally,
internationally,
no matter where they go.
no matter where they go. So that's a really cool thing. So that would sort of float my boat. I don't know about you all, but it would float mine. So, okay, so that's another one of the levels, right? You guys, you show up, you're okay, you ever need us, you let us know, we'll be here.
Well, they get assigned 2 primaries.
Right.
And these primaries are going through a real stringent teaching. It takes between 14 to 18 months before you're even considered for a patch.
Exactly.
You go through an NCIC background check.
Right.
Doesn't matter
All the
if you
bikers you're talking
have,
about now.
absolutely,
Right.
and people go, well, bikers have passed. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
As long as it's nothing against a child,
Right.
we'll take you. And once they're cleared, then they start the process of learning more about what they need to do
Right.
and be there.
Right.
They have to show up to 80% of mandatory stuff. The level 1, once we give them the cuts with their road names, and we always go by kind of our child liaison who smiles is just awesome. She picks the names out based on what the child likes, and her and the president.
So the child gets a road name?
The child gets a road name.
Oh, no,
absolutely.
I didn't know that. That's
It
great.
is for anonymity reasons. If you came up to me and said, hey, I understand you have my niece in your organization, I'm going to look at you and go, what are you talking about?
Right.
And if you say their name, I don't know
Well,
their
who it
name.
is, right.
And even if I did, I don't know who you are.
Right, right.
Are you looking for this
Sure.
child?
Right.
So it's basically to protect them, because we're not there for anybody else but that child. We're not
Right.
even there for the caretaker.
So here's the deal. You guys show up and you befriend, really be family, if you will, the child. Now they're kind of really feeling good about life again. The abuser comes back, and one can only hope that the abuser has kind of learned the lesson. Then they never do. I know. I understand. So now when you're called back, you show back up, and you sort of you want to sort of kind of talk to this abuser person and have them reason a little bit. And if they then decide to confront or to become physical, okay, that's on them. what happens?
Absolutely. Well, that's our level 2. If there's a threat to the child, the family members or the abuser is coming back to the house, we call it a level 2. This is where the police
level
love
2,
us.
ruh-roh.
Right.
Oh boy.
But we keep it simple because we don't want to put any more abuse in front of the child. We
No.
do nothing. We do not provoke anything, and we don't condone the use of violence. And this is where we camp out in front of their lawn. We stay there whether it's 1 day, 7 days, 30 days, around the clock. And that child can get up no matter what time of day or night and look out the window and see us there, and we're like, you're okay.
So good.
That's our little brother and sister.
Awesome.
You know, we bring them in. Now, if the person that has hurt them tries to confront us, we can be on the lawn, they can be on the sidewalk and say all they want. We do not do anything. If they step on the lawn and start provoking things, you know, of course we have a right to protect ourselves, but we will take it down the road. You know what I mean? Keep it away from the child.
Wait, I'm just going to ask the question because I really want to know. Inquiring minds really want to know.
Absolutely.
How many times have you had to take it down the road?
You know, actually, in our chapter, we haven't done that. We've had some come up, and we've asked them to leave. Usually they're pretty, I wouldn't say smart, because they wouldn't have done what they did. But they think about it, because when you've got that many around, you know, standing there waiting.
Well, you know, somebody could come out kind of, you know, really drunk or really, you know, feeling really strong and good about himself.
And we will try to, most like, look, buddy, come on, let's go for a walk or something like that.
Right.
We're not going to, you know, unless that person, you know, takes out a weapon, I mean, you know, or pushes their way in, then of course we have to do what we need to do. You're not getting to that child anymore.
Now, here's another question you can answer or not, but are you guys packing?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a right to carry.
Ask the question, get an answer. I like that. That works for me.
It's Arizona, which is great, but you know, a lot of other states too.
Before we came to tape, you were telling me about your logo. I'd like for you to
the colors of our
show me the
patch
logo again and what it stands for.
You can see that.
Yeah. Can you guys get a close up on that for me? Great.
The red is the blood our children shed, the pain and stuff that they go through. The white is the purity of the children. There's a black outline of the fist. That's the darkness that they're in. We keep it small basically for the reasons is we want to get them out of that darkness. We want them to live lives. I mean, how many of us who didn't have us when we were going through this lived in darkness our whole life, and it affected our relationships and stuff like that. The fist is the unity of our organization, and the Jolly Roger on there basically is, you know, death to child abuse. We're tired of it.
Yeah. As I was doing my research today, and I found this to be so surprising, quite frankly. So there's a story, and there's the video, and the news team shows up of a 5-year-old little girl who had been raped. And the mother walks into the bathroom because she hears the little girl whimpering, and she walks into the bathroom, sees the actual rapist. The rapist flees, leaving a condom behind. And now, obviously, it goes to court. Because of the sensitive nature of what the little girl was going to be recounting, the judge asked that the courtroom be completely emptied. Even the mother was not allowed to remain. But who was?
BACA.
BACA. That, to me, is it's so impactful and so powerful to me that the child who now is within the BACA family, who's 5 years old, who has gone through something as tragic as being raped by an adult male, and now her mother is not even allowed to stay in the room, but because of potential fear or you know, not maybe even, you know, shutting down, breaking down, or completely just not being able to speak, she was able to go with the flow and really stand up because all of her BACA brothers and sisters were right there going, it's okay, we love you, you're going to be just fine.
It's empowerment.
Holy. I mean, holy.
Our judges are finally understanding what we're there for. We're not there to stare at the perpetrator, the abuser. We're not there to stare at the judge. We're not there to make any kind of emotion or statement. We're there to support our little brother and sister. They're terrified. You know, a lot of times they go into court by themselves. They may have their mom. They may even have a family member. It's a foster mom. I believe in some states a lot of foster parents are not allowed to go to court with them.
Right.
And they're supposed to tell their story and be intimidated by defense. because believe it or not, most of these perpetrators have more rights than this child does.
Yeah.
And that's a unique situation because a lot of times our children will sit in court for 3 hours waiting to be heard because they don't want to do his or her case first, the abusers. They don't want the other inmates to know what he did. So now you're continuing to victimize this child by sitting there waiting, and they have broken down, but they know they're surrounded, and that's the most important thing. We stand there to help them to say, what happened to them? They're terrified, they're not wrong, and that's what they grow up thinking. They did something wrong.
How are you getting the word out, and how are you getting to the children that need you?
Well, things like this, and I do thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means
Please
to
don't thank me.
to BACA. We are international, and we're hoping that in the next 2 years we'll have 32 more countries on board, and that every state in the United States will be covered.
Now, is every state in the United States
not
covered?
Right now. We have 39 states right now. We have 161 chapters. A lot of the colder states is a little bit difficult when it snows. They don't ride their motorcycles, but they will take cars, just out of safety purposes. We don't want anything to happen to any of know our members and stuff. We want to get to the child's house safely. But it's just getting the interest of people. It's probably one of the most difficult things. It's a commitment. I can't see myself doing anything else. My husband didn't want to get involved.
I was going to go there. I know. I was going to go there with your husband.
He supports
What's
everything I
road
do.
Name?
It's Rembrandt because we have a painting company here in the Valley, so they named him Rembrandt.
Hey, Rembrandt. All right.
And he was just supporting me. He's always, supported me in any of my endeavors and stuff like that. And he had to get fingerprinted because you have to have a motorcycle or access to a motorcycle. So he was my access. Yes. So he went to the first trial ride once his fingerprint cleared, and it did something to him. And now my husband's never been the child person. It's always my job. I got really involved with my kids and my grandkids and stuff. And now,
wait, you say grandkids?
I have 6 grandkids.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh, look, I do. Geez. That's why I have 6 earrings here. I have 3 kids and 6 grandkids.
Oh, that's really cool.
I have to represent them.
Very good. Well, you're representing all right. You get a close-up on those ears.
That's right. That's right. These are for my kids,
Awesome.
and I adore them. And I love what she said about grandkids. It's totally different when you have grandkids. You do just want to lick them all the time because they're just wonderful.
All right, so I think we're trying to get this ear. So look at me here. Look at me here. Get that ear. You got that ear? Okay, turn around. See, we got that. There you go. So that's the kid side.
That's it.
The grandkids is on the other side.
3 kids, 6 grandkids, and I love them. They go from 18 to 4.
What else can we tell our viewers right now that they need to know? So we said BACAworld.org. That's a way to get involved.
Absolutely.
What do you all need? How can we help
the public. I mean, we need the public to, the presentations, I've been doing a lot of them, getting out there, getting the word out there. We need help. We look for the jean jackets because they cost. So we look for the public to help us with those. They can call us up and tell us where they're at. We cut off the sleeves and we give them, we call them little Scoties. And
for the children, you mean now?
Yes, these are for the children. The boys and men's are very hard to get. Girls change all the time, but boys keep the same thing, so they're hard to get. Donations, the monetary donations, 100%, and I mean 100%, goes to these kids. Nobody gets paid for what we do. There is no, refunding on anything. It's our gas, our dime, our time, and we pay for therapy. All right, a lot of these kids can't get into therapy or they don't have insurance. But we also put on a big, huge swim party, picnic for them, and we rent out a huge place. So all these kids, oh, absolutely, absolutely. But these kids can play with each other and with other kids who have been abused, and they start bonding. And we've had some of them say, you know what, I'll go to court with you because I've been there, and I'll be there with you. How empowering is that for another child to want to empower another child? This is what we need.
That's what we need.
Not bullying. We need them to step up for each other. And then, and then we put on a Christmas party for them. Some place that they can play laser tag and bowling, and we have pizza and awesome cupcakes.
So donations are welcome for
Donations are absolutely welcome.
BACAworld.org, one way to get to you. Do you feel as though you want to leave your personal email so that people can get directly to you?
Oh, they can, absolutely. It's all lowercase. It's Nytro, Nytro, the number 1, BACA @gmail.com.
There you go. So that's another way for everybody to get to you. I can't thank you and the entire organization and Rembrandt and
Yeah, he's now not only the chapter president, he's the state president.
I know he is.
The guy that didn't want to get involved.
I know. Well, we're so excited. I couldn't be happier that you came in. I wish it had existed when I was a child, but I'm so glad for the children of today. And I always end all of my interviews with a hug.
Absolutely,
I'm a hugger. I love you and what you do.
I'm a hugger.
Thank you so much.
For having
I really, really
us. Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so everybody get with Nytro because I know that you want to donate to this really awesome cause. Thanks everybody for being with us here on the Envelopment Network on Wake Up America, and we'll see you next time.